Hiya friends, so it's currently about 10 a.m. on the last day of Camp NaNoWriMo, and I still have about 2,000 words to write, so I thought it would help motivate me to get this done if I brought you guys along with me. Does that sound like a plan? I mean, I'm gonna do it anyway. You guys don't actually have a choice. You're from the future. The other reason why I'm taking you with me today is because I actually have a lot of things that I want to do today. For once, on top of Camp NaNoWriMo, work has been really busy these past few weeks, and so I haven't had a lot of time to do really anything but write and work, which is also writing. So my daily schedule has mostly consisted of waking up in the morning, going downstairs into my office, sitting there, and then not really getting up until like 9 or 10 p.m. when I went upstairs to watch YouTube videos until I fell asleep. So not only was that not great for like my mental health or my back, but it also wasn't so great for like vlog content. So we're gonna fix that today, because today is the weekend and the last day of Camp NaNoWriMo. So I'm making a pact with myself, and now you, future viewer, that I'm gonna go for a run today, and I'm gonna do a little cheeky workout maybe. And then I'm gonna try to find a place that I can get some writing done outside where I can see the sun. Novel concept. That is, before the Florida sun inevitably forces me back inside where there's AC, or the Florida thunderstorms force me back inside where it's not raining. We might only make it as far as my porch, but we'll get somewhere. But first, coffee. Well, actually, we're going for a run, so water. First, water.
12 seconds later.
Okay, so I think that was probably enough physical exercise for another year or so, give or take. So I'm now going to actually start trying to get some writing done, because it's about noon and I haven't written any words yet. I'm probably still though going to start writing in my office just like normal, because I'm gonna wait for my hair to dry the rest of the way. Otherwise it will be like Frizztown population me. So I'm just going to write down there for a bit. Also because I think there's a couple of people streaming right now, and the bigger screen is better for having multiple things happening at once. And then we're gonna try to get a solid basis, I think, in the next couple hours, so that we can maybe finish off in a nicer place. I'm like looking out the window right now trying to see where like any storm clouds are, because usually this is around the time, but actually right now it's looking like a very beautiful day. So fingers crossed, and we'll see what we can do from here on out. Oh, now we can make coffee. Time. So I think I have now done about an hour's worth of sprints. I did like 2.5 25-minute sprints, and I have 554 words now. I'm actually in a pretty okay spot, I think, because I'm at a part of the story that was pretty much unchanged from the first draft, and even pretty much unchanged from the draft before that. So I actually have a lot of old stuff to pull back on. The only thing that's taking a lot of time is not so much actually getting the words on the page, but just jigsawing all of the pieces into the right spot, because different characters are talking now and there's like different things happening. It's hard to explain, but basically they are kind of getting their fortune told at the moment. And so I'm leading up to that, which will hopefully be pretty much finishing this scene will probably end up my Camp NaNoWriMo, which is fun because this is the new midpoint, or at least I have outlined it to be the new midpoint. So hopefully I will be able to kind of get to that big twist, and we'll see where that goes. But for now, I still have a lot of stuff to pull from, so the actual word writing is not that terrible at the moment. So I'm going to go outside while it's still nice, and it's still like a beautiful day out, so cross our fingers that it's gonna stay that way. But I think I'm going to just go sit out on my egg chair and write for a bit, and then I will let you know where I'm at after that. I look as short as I am. The way that I've laid this out, it's me, your favorite 5'3" author tuber. All right, bye. Okay, so we are back from inside. It was actually really lovely outside, and it is such a nice day. I don't know how I can describe to you how nice of a day that it is today, which is strange because usually by now it would be like pouring down rain and like thunderstorming and everything. So I did some writing outside. I got another like 560-ish words, but now because it's such a nice day, I kind of want to go write in this little place in my neighborhood. We have these like park benches kind of scattered throughout, and further down in my neighborhood there's a little pond and there's some benches around that, so I think I might go try to write there for a bit. Probably not for long, to be honest, because I'm gonna have to use a hotspot on my phone, and it's like right across from people who actually like live there, so I don't want people wondering like, who is this woman sitting writing on whatever. But at least I hope I can get like a couple hundred words in, just kind of actually outside, and then we might come back to the office to actually finish it up, and I will see you then. I am somehow convinced that like people can always see me from outside or like from their windows, which is ridiculous because like I can't see into their windows, so how could they see into mine? It's the anxiety for me. We've done it, lads. All right, everyone. Congratulate me. Where are my pats on the back? I am not feeling them. I'm just kidding. God, I've had coffee today. That's been my primary source of sustenance this day. Well, water. I had water, and then just coffee. And a Hot Pocket. So I did end up getting the last few hundred words back in my office because I had a lot of stuff from a previous draft that I could pull over, that it's just easier to see when I have my big document and then the smaller document and then like whatever writing stream I have pulled up. So I did get the last few words just back in my dreary old office, but it got the job done. So we're going to pretend like all of the writing done today was in aesthetic locations and forget the rest. One thing Something I actually failed to mention in my previous videos, both of which mentioned Camp NaNoWriMo in at least some capacity, is what my Camp NaNoWriMo goal actually was. As you might have guessed by the whole 50,000 words thing, I did have a goal of 50,000 words, but it wasn't just 50,000 words in the month of July, it was 50,000 words total in my manuscript, because I had already written in the course of May and June 9,000 and some change words for the same manuscript. And rather than constantly doing the math of subtracting how many I started with from the amount that I had now, I just wanted to be able to plug in what my total word count was the entire time throughout the course of the month. So my goal was actually more like 41,000 words for the month of July, but it's still a win. A win is a win is a win. But because of that, I did actually start day one of Camp NaNoWriMo with 9,000 and some change words, which meant that for the majority of the month, especially in the early part of the month, I was like well over the required number of words for that day. And it wasn't until this past like week or so that all of my days off and my days of only writing 200 or 300 words finally caught up with me, and I started being very behind, which is a big part of why the last few writing days have been probably the worst, because I consistently had anywhere between 2,000 and 5,000 words to write on any given day. And this was all happening during a lull in the story that I was already having a hard time figuring out how to get around. So just not great in general, but we've now come to this point where I actually do have a lot of stuff to draw from the previous draft. I'm happy with the way that things worked in the previous draft, except for a big twist, which I'm also adding in to make this the new midpoint instead of a separate midpoint that I had before. So I'm actually really excited to get to that new midpoint where I can start writing just kind of freehand again, I guess you could say, instead of pulling and like tracing my steps from my previous draft. But thank golly that we got to that scene today, because it meant that it was way easier to get the 1,500 words today than it has been in the past like week. But anyway, to wrap up this whole Camp NaNoWriMo experience, I'm gonna kind of fall back on some things that I mentioned in my previous two videos. Because my perception of my writing has changed and my excitement over this particular story has changed so much, I've actually found that this month has not been that bad. I mean, a big part of that was probably also starting with 10,000 words out the gate, but in general, this has been a really great writing month for me because of these other resources and these shifts in mentality and attitude that I've had in the past year, or even just in the past few months, honestly. And so because this month really wasn't all that bad, it makes me feel really hopeful for the future of my writing and for the future of this story. I've mentioned in the past that while I love NaNoWriMo and Camp NaNoWriMo stuff with my whole heart, I do think that it can be really detrimental to young writers who don't really know what they're getting into. I think that the idea of starting and finishing a novel in 30 days and it has to be 50,000 words and whatever is great, and it can really kick you in the butt and get you going, but it can also really burn you out real fast. And I've had in the past this kind of mentality of I write when it is NaNoWriMo season, and if it is not, then I'm so tired from the Camp NaNoWriMo or NaNoWriMo season that I don't want to write anymore. So I'm pleased to report that at least for me, this Camp Nano has not felt that way at all. Like I said, I still am planning on writing more later today. I'm planning on writing more next week. I'm planning on writing more the week after. And I don't see myself slowing down at all. Well, I might slow down. I might slow down a bit, but I'm not going to stop. And that's, I think, what is important. Camp NaNoWriMo is already better in my opinion because you can choose your own goals and things like that. But here's the secret that I have to tell you. Friends, you can choose your goal anytime. Even during regular NaNoWriMo or during a month that has nothing to do with NaNoWriMo. You can always choose your goals like that. You can always track your word count like that. It's just more fun when you have a group of people doing it with you. But as I talked about in my last video, there's always people doing things. That community, that thing that I loved so much about NaNoWriMo growing up, is here now, like all year round. But I think that's where I'm going to leave this for today, because I want to go make some actual food because the caffeine is clearly getting to me, and also I want to write some more today before the end of the day. On that note, I am going to go write some more and also like eat some food. But I hope that your Camp NaNoWriMo season has gone swimmingly, and if you have nothing to do with Camp NaNoWriMo, I hope you at least enjoyed watching people flail. And I will see you, hopefully, maybe, if you would like, in my next video. Bye! I just finished filming this video and I totally forgot that I have a threat for you.
You're watching Ali K. Lim's writing vlog. It's probably a writing vlog, and if you don't subscribe to her channel, I swear to God, I'm going to use my advanced big brain technology expertise. I'm going to find out where you are, and I'm going to write you a strongly worded letter. And it's very likely that your family's going to read it. They're not going to think very great of you after that. They're not going to think very highly of you. So just subscribe. It's not that hard. Just do it. Shit. Sorry for swearing. Just do it. And everyone in the chat agrees. Everyone in the chat agrees. If you don't subscribe, we as a collective will find you. And we're gonna stand in your general proximity. We're not gonna physically harm you, don't worry about that, but we're gonna stand in your general proximity, and we're just gonna be like, can you imagine how annoying that would be? That's what you're in for.
Thanks, Kim.
I'm evil.